Share screen. Oh, damn it. Oh. Oh my God. What's up, my people? This is Showbiz Dope. All right, guys. There's a rumor saying they want to increase our retirement age to 69 years old. 69 years old. Let me see. Check this out. New chat. Uh-oh. Retirement age. Raising them. Sorry. Take a look. The government has a plan to raise our retirement to in the United States. They said they're going to raise it up to maybe 69 years old, guys. Wow, 69 years old. What are we doing? Sitting back while they monopolize? They have monopolies in food, groceries, and we over here standing around arguing about nonsense. Monopolies is the real reason why everything's up. Minimum wage is going up too. That's going to cause the upper wage. Arizona says we have another minimum wage. Minimum wage is only 18% of the workforce. Makes no sense. When those 18% of the workforce, guys, goes up, the rest of it goes up with everybody else. People want to retire or have a career flipping burgers at McDonald's and all that. And you know, it was never meant for that. It was meant to start your career off, to build yourself. If you want to make more money, become a manager, own one. But to do minimum wage, that causes inflation across the board. You know, it's not one shoe fits all type deal. You wonder why you pay more? Minimum wage is up. It's going to go up again. You're going to start blaming the system. It's not the system. It's us voting for that. Crazy. Why? Let's ask them why. Why are they moving up the minimum retirement age to 69? Let's talk to it, guys. Talk to AI. If you talk to AI, it's going to talk to you back. Why? Sorry. Why? Why ask why? Check this out, guys. What does it say? What does it say? Retirement. Check this out, guys. Let's see what it says. Sorry, I got on my screen. My chat GBT. Sorry. My chat GBT app. Guys, so it's going up. Why? Because we allow them to. We're putting our head in the sand and nothing's going on. And let it talk to us. Watch. Just don't listen to me. Look at this. Look at this. Just read what's going on here. Why? Oh, right there. Retirement age raising them. Why? Why? Think about it, guys. They want to just keep raising the minimum wage up on our dime while allowing monopolies. That's crazy. We got to wake up, guys. They keep doing endless wars on our dime, and we allowing them to. Why? Can't be allowing that. If we don't stand together, bad things happen when good people stand on the sidelines and wait. And there's opportunity right now. Opportunity to do a lot. And if we stand on the sidelines, we're not gonna be able to do nothing. So I suggest we all stand together and just see what we can do as a unit. Get capital investments together. Nobody gets together. Let me see. Watch. Think I'm lying? Sorry, guys. I'm new at this. Share screen. Nope. I just had it. Let me see. Are they raising minimum wage? Are they raising minimum wage in AZ? And will it cause inflation? Right there, guys. Yes, Arizona will be raising the minimum wage starting January 1st. Under the state law, the Fair Wage Health Families and Wage floor will go from 1470 to 1515 per hour. This change is a minimum inflation adjustment based on consumer price index rather than a brand new policy mandate. While it's up because we originally increased the minimum wage here too. I mean, that's part of it. We'll go to that as well. What happening in Arizona? The rate of 1515 hour beginning January 1st. This increase tied to inflation, meaning is designed to help wages keep up with rising costs. Cities like Tucson, Flagstaff, and even higher local minimum wage is set by voters. But yet they don't even question insurance companies. That goes up. Oh, we just adjust. Why? Oh, they can't afford it, but yeah, they made $104 billion last year. That's a joke too. With this called deflation, economists generally are mixed, but evidence-based views on this. Inflation effects tends to be a small, nuanced. The modest minimum wage increase can contribute to upward pressure on prices, but it usually is not a major driver of economy-wide inflation. Minimum wage goes up. Whoever's not making minimum wage are not going to get increases. Point blank. That goes up. My pay didn't go up. Did your pay go up if you're not minimum wage? So guess what? Price goes up. So let's say you're here. Price goes up. Let's say you get paid here. Like, oh, I'm good. Oh, inflation. Inflation or minimum wage goes up. Well, you have to pay for that minimum wage. Boop, the gap goes smaller, point blank. It's going to get smaller unless they're going to give everybody else the adjustment as well. It's all going to go up, point blank. Starts at the bottom. Food goes up because you have to pay the guy 15.50, and then they wonder why. It's common sense, dude. You own the business, you understand. It doesn't make no sense. Higher labor costs might be passed on the formal slightly prior prices, goods, and services. Some sectors, especially restaurants and local services. Restaurants, guys, that's everything. Everything else besides food is the who cares if the TV goes up. I just won't buy it. You have to buy food. You see how they nonchalantly bring it up? Oh, modestly. Has everything went up since the minimum wage started going up, guys? Come on. At the same time, because Arizona increased relatively small, 0.5 and tied to inflation already measured by state laws, expected meaningfully create inflation in its own. Many economists see this type of adjustments as response to inflation rather than the cause of it. Sure. Yeah, if food's gonna go up and they're gonna be like, well, it's just modest. But look, their TV's cheaper. Nobody cares about TVs. Some studies find minimum wage increase can help boost consumer spending. Consumer spending, among low wage workers without significant price spike, especially when broader inflationary measures are immoderate. This consists with the adjustment in many twin key points. Inflation mostly driven by broad microeconomic factors like national monetary policy, supply chain issues, energy costs. Energy costs, you mean monopolies? Okay. Not isolated state wages change. Small inflation based increase like Arizona is unlikely to by itself cause meaningful state national inflation. Hmm. Who wrote this? Based on past history. Come on, guys. Yeah, history evidence generally supports the idea that minimum wage increases have modest effects on inflation and prices, not only a large inflammatory spiral. Some critics warn about economic studies. These questions have decided consensus in, with research and nuances, but clear past minimum wage hikes aren't major driving inflation. Price tend to be small. Studies find 10% increase in minimum wage typically raises consumer prices as much less and often than 1%. I don't know. Have you saw McDonald's prices without buying the $5 menu one? They're almost identical to the minimum wage. After you put, let's say you get a double whammy, a double bam, a McDouble meal without the $5 one, or if you get the double quarter pounder, how much is that? It's like 13, 14 bucks out the door. Look at the prices, dude. Most imperial evidence does not show broad inflation, broad viewers, economics. What about food cost? What about food cost? Here's a research real world has changed. Minimum wage goes up based on groceries, food at home. Researchers looking at groceries, food bought supermarket find 10% minimum wage increase tend to raise grocery prices about zero point 0.3. So why is our food going up then? So why did food go up? Monopolies? Hmm? Monopolies, guys. Yes, food prices have gone up. It's not just because wage inflation alone. It's the mix of structural forces has pushed grocery restaurant prices higher. Here they clear evidence based on breakdown reasons. Supply chain and production cost. Food production, delivery, extremely energy resource intensive. When energy costs like oil and gas rise, that increases. Fertilizer production, that went up because we used to get it from Russia. All the fertilizer they said we came from Russia, and then all that prices went up because we couldn't get it from Russia. Fuel, tractors, and trucks. Fuel, tractors, and trucks. Well, make them. I guarantee you, you make these all electric, prices will still be the same. Processing and refrigeration, which all flows into higher prices at the store. Global events like pandemic disrupted supply chains and kept costs elevated. Extreme weather, climate change. Climate change has caused more frequent droughts, heavy storms, and floods, and direct. For example, extreme droughts in major agriculture regions cause sharp price jumps in vegetables and other staples. Climate factors are now a major driver of short-term food price spikes. Disaster. Do you know why? Because they don't they need to start re-putting food at other places now. I mean, if they say world's changing, they're not changing the agriculture landscape. You got to follow more wet areas. If it's changed, why aren't we changing that? It makes no sense. Like, who's running this? Like, are we concentrating, make this a national, effort to move people away to area that's more congruent with water? It's like it doesn't make no sense. Go to Arizona, for instance. We have TCM, the chip factory over here, and they consume a lot of water, but we're the driest state and they're not even giving us more water rights inside the Colorado River. So they're not giving us water. California's taking majority of it, and we're taking all the chip factories. So it just don't make no sense when why they do that. Maybe the government allows it. I don't know why. Maybe hard to. I don't know. Market concentration gives firms more pricing power, allowing them to raise prices more aggressively to maintain profit margin, even when costs aren't rising as fast. Economists and journalists have highlighted the large agribusiness, easy what? Agribusinesses and retailers often pass costs to consumers and sustain higher prices. That does improve monopoly prices gouging very in every case, but market concentration does give companies greater influence over prices. This would say market concentrations, monopolies. The government will say nothing. We'll just call it inflation, rubber stamp. Some prices increase is due to higher labor costs as food production, retail includes transportation process, supermarket staffing, however, is typically makes up for smaller share of the total price increase compared to other factors. Broader inflation and economic factors. General inflation, higher costs and input like economics, energy still affect food price. Why do you feel especially bad? How much has food went up since 2020? Just food by itself, not everything else. Right here. Here's the data that shows food prices increase and just the food itself, not overall inflation based on CPI measured Bureau of Labor Statistics. How much prices often raised since 2020, according to 2020-24 overall food consumer prices, which prices all food rose for 23%. I remember I used to pay like 180. Now I'm paying like 300. That's like almost 100%. I remember paying groceries like 180 to 200. Now I'm paying like $300. That doesn't seem like a 23% increase. And then food, I also include like napkins, toilet paper, and all that stuff to live by. All that combined. How much of that all that risen? And are they US based, those companies, or where are they from? It's always good to ask where they from, guys. Because it could be, if they inflated so much, we want to start the business here in the US. It makes no sense. I'm like, dude, we went out of the country to be cheaper. If we're paying US prices, might as well bring it back. Let me see here. Labor shortages. Yes, absolutely right. The food and related house goods bills people pay today are much higher than what you remember. Often, way more often. Inflation percentage must suggest here the clear breakdown of what happens with food and everyday prices since 2020. Why groceries trip went from 180 to 200 and to 300. Where do the big food household goods companies come from? How much of the prices are actually risen in 2020? Food inflation data, according to the CPI compiled the data, Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Labor Statistics, overall prices rose 24, meaning the typical food basket costs from 24% more than 2020. Some independent trackers find groceries to be 28, which it matches a real experience. However, most recent 2024 food price inflation slowed to a 2 to 3 annually, significantly lower than a spike. Your experience 300 versus one before matches a 20 to 30% increase, which aligns with the CPI trackers. Isn't that crazy, dude? 30% more. Nobody's here getting paid 30% more. Are you getting paid 30% more? Maybe people minimum wage, like my kids. They're getting paid minimum wage. That's not a livable wage. They want minimum wage to be a livable wage. It's not possible, guys. I mean, I wish it was, but you know what is possible? Starting your own business. Start your own business, guys. You get it set up against the working man. You start your business. You get more tax breaks than anything. You want to get out of the rat race? Start your own business. Work your full time job, part time on your side hustle. 40 hours at work, part time on your side hustle to become your real hustle, your main hustle. Only get out the rat race. So they're talking about moving up the minimum wage. Who used that tell you? There were any way to scam you out of it, and then they lie about you're gonna live longer. That's lies. Black people that said they die at 67, we retire now at 67. Isn't that obvious? Let me ask. What's the rate of minorities dying now since they want to raise the retirement age at 69 based on realities of minorities, blacks, and Hispanics, especially blacks? Black people. They were saying 67. They were saying Hispanics 80, but that's for people from coming from other countries that are living longer now. Take a look and see what it says. This is horrible, dude. Pisses me off. I'm like, what did they do with all the money? See what AI says. See what AI says, guys. AI, artificial intelligence, the dawn of the new age. No more secrets from governments. This is open source. Imagine what they got behind our back. Wow. This is the best time to invent, start a business, anything, guys. If you really want to start a business now using AI. No more asking for people for permission. No more asking for help. When you got AI like this is just the beginning. Get there before everybody else does. What are we doing? Get together. Think about it. It's still thinking. What kind of lie could tell us? What kind of facts it could tell that's provable? Go, come on, think, think, think. Think, think, think. Might as well go to Gemini. Takes too long. Yes, it's a full retirement age gets pushed back to 69. It hits groups with lower life expectancy and lower survival to old age rates. Harder because more people die before it reaches a full benefit age, and they're forced to claim early and take a permanent cuts. What the data says right now, the latest officials, life expectancy, US 2023, Hispanic 81, whites 70. Damn, Hispanic live longer, bro, than white folks. Dude, there's nobody in my family live past past 60. I mean, I think my grandpa lived to like 70, and because of COVID, that got him. COVID got him at the hospital. The hospital got him. Anyway, right here, non-Hispanics, whites and non-Hispanics 71, black 74. How many people even make the retirement age? Hispanics 80%, black people 74. Is retirement just like talk? Non-automatically happen nationwide, but this is overall. Like, what did they do with the money? Okay, what about the retirement age for poor people? Not just overall, by zip codes. There's some places that are worse than others, but yeah, we get a rubber stamp. Earlier you mentioned that on average, poor black males die or pass away at 69. Is that correct? Or 67 average? Repeat that from earlier conversations. See, you have to just call it out too, guys. I mean, it's a tool, like a car. It's a tool, right? To get to work. Here's the best available dollar average expectancy, national life expectancy. There, a number on average for the retirement population. Overall expectancy is 74 data. But here the breakdown of the race and ethnicity, non-Hispanics. Hispanic expectancy 81. Non-Asians, non-Hispanics 85. White people, white non-Hispanics 78.4. So yes, memory that black Americans have a notable shorter average span. What about the average black significant males? There is in significantly usual a black male life expectancy birth that latest summary, but multiple credible analysts, including demographic research, or an average expectancy of an African American male is around 69 years old, guys. Some estimate 69.2 specifically. That figure is considerable below the overall 75.8 because black males experience higher mortality from multiple causes, heart disease, homicide, chronic conditions. So if you said earlier something like black males don't often live past 69 average, that is not far off. Best estimate, especially when compared to retirement ages. Poverty, zip code, neighborhood disciplinary groups, like averages from 74 to 69, concealed huge variations depending on where you live. Same thing when you live, dude. By by incoming poverty, Americans dramatically lower life expectancy than wealthier Americans. Some research shows an average difference of over 10 years between the poorest and richest U.S. adults. Status explain more variant and expectancy that race alone was studied together by place, zip code, and neighborhood. Life expectancy can vary much more than 25 between the best off and worst off countries. So by zip code, dude. Some counties see life expectancy in the 60s, while others in the 80s. See, not one shoe fits all. For example, life expectancy of black men in states ranges from the low from 60s and the mid 70s, depending heavily on the location conditions. Another analysis shows neighborhoods with concentrated disadvantages, poverty, and stagnation, or segregation, have expected lifespan several years lower than the influent integrated neighborhoods. Wow. See, dude? Why disparities? Expectancy isn't just agencies, guys. It reflects the causes of the wealth and the places. Major contributors shorter lifespans in disadvantaged communities, higher rates of chronic disease, heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and all these stuff, guys. You see that right here? All that's caused by big pharma. I mean, with the food industry, So the food industries and who is it tied to? Who gets Snap? Snap allowed all these chemicals to be in other food, soda. In Mexico, they put real sugar, you know, cane sugar, I believe. In Mexico, Coca Cola's. In the United States, they use high fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup, based on studies, is known to give you a fatty liver. And then we wonder why. And nobody asks those right questions. They don't ask those questions because they don't bring them up. It's embarrassing. It's just crazy. We guys got to talk about it, guys. You want to talk about real stuff? Get over here. Get on my little channel, dude. We got to change because if we don't change it ourselves, who's gonna change? And the people that say it is what it is, they're part of the problem. Yeah, well, you bring a problem. Oh, it is what it is. Yeah, you're lazy. You're sheep, and you're probably just an NPC. I call them NPC. You do what you're told. Shut up. Um, you're open thinker, guys. Come over here and you know, chat with us. Till next time, guys. My first stream. So like and comment. Tell me what you think. Let me know.